The last slide in this chapter is an overview of the financing parties, and here I want to underline two things. The first one is, if you put that together, please always ask the client for the underlying contracts. And the reason for that is that, well, it's twofold. Things may change on a short notice, such as, for example, variable interest rates, and you just want to make sure that you really get the latest. And the other one is that, well, things can be used differently. So you may have more of a general kind of a contract with your bank, and a current account may be turned into a loan and the other way around. So you really just want to make sure that you get a complete picture here. So usually it's not sufficient to just receive the Excel file that you get in the course of the information request, but it makes more sense here to go a bit more into detail. The other thing is that, well, always ask for clarifications. So sometimes things make sense 99%, but really it's a bit different. So to give an example, in the Netherlands there's this thing called the G account. Turned out to be some kind of trapped cash really. The reason for that is it's controlled by the tax authorities. So it works like this. If you are running a B2B business, for example, and you have some customers and they pay you, well, the tax portion of the invoice is directly sent to the so-called G account, and you can't access this immediately. You can only access this, well, it's a bit complex, but let's say something like the end of the year when you properly took care of paying your taxes and the tax authorities are fine with this. You can also use this to pay other businesses as well, and then pay the tax portion, but really this is something that's not that straightforward. And it really looked like a normal current account. It just made me a bit suspicious that it was called G account. So here in Excel, this is really just a very basic lookup table. I'm getting the information from the accounts tab. And the reason I rebuilt this in PowerPoint is just that I wanted to make sure that it looked consistent. The problem is if you paste in this, for example, here as an image file in Excel, it will always be difficult to properly scale the font sizes, and that's why I rebuilt this. But it also makes sense to have it in Excel as well, because, well, here you can crunch the numbers and it's just easier to get the numbers right in Excel.